Okay. So question 1. 240 cars were tested to see how far they traveled on 10 liters of fuel. The graph shows the cumulative frequency distribution of the results. So question 1, find the median distance traveled by the cars. Do any of you want to walk through it?
For median, isn't just you get the highest cumulative frequency and then you divide it by 2, and then you look at and there's a,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so it would be like 150 or is it? Oh no, 240.
Yeah, so it's 240 because that's the highest value shown on the graph. So basically, exactly what Charlie said, divide by 2 or multiply by 0.5.
And then you get 1. Okay, cool.
So after what Charlie said, after you get 120, you have to go in a horizontal line towards the graph, and then you hit the graph, like the line, and then you shoot down. So that would be 119. Since each of these boxes are the value of 1, so you would just see that it's 1 away from 120, and then you get 119. So that's the answer. Okay, it's already highlighted. Okay, so question 2, calculate the inner quartile range of the distance traveled by the cars. So basically it's the same thing. So for the inner quartile distance, you have to find quartile 3 and quartile 1. So first you would take the highest value of 240, you would multiply that by 0.75, which is 180. And then you'd go on the graph, find 180. Since this goes by values of 20, this would be 180. So you go to the graph, see where it hits. That's 2 away from 125. So that would be 123. So that's quartile 3. And then to find quartile 1, you'll do the same thing. 240 times 0.25, which equals 60. Find 60 on the graph, shoot down. That's 1 away from 115. You get 114. And then simple quartile 3 minus quartile 1, and then you'd get 9. Stop me if you have any questions. Okay, so question 3. Let me see if anyone's in the waiting room. Okay, cool. So question 3, find the number of cars that traveled more than 130 kilometers. So to find this, you go to the graph, look at the cumulative frequency. This is 120, that's 140. So 130 should be, okay, so this goes by values of 20. So that means this should be by 5. So 130. 125, 1. Oh, my bad. I have no idea. Okay, I need a second. $20. So okay, so 130 would be around here. Okay, does anyone know? I think I'm stuck.
Can you show the problem again?
Yeah, sorry.
So
find the number of cars that traveled more than 130. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Okay, since it's asking for the measure 120, you have to look at the x-axis. So I was looking at the y-axis.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I was kind of wrong. So here's 130. Find right here, that's 220. So since it asks for how many cars traveled more than 130, you have to look above. So 240, which is the highest value, minus that 220 is 20. So it would be 20 cars. My bad, y'all. Okay, next question. The cumulative frequency graph shows the heights in centimeters of 80 young trees. If the highest cumulative frequency was an odd number, wouldn't we add 1 to it? Yeah, we add 1 to it because it makes it easy. So like, I'm pretty sure when we answer it, I feel like she wouldn't do that because like, if she wants a straight defined answer, I feel like she would leave it as even values. But yeah, if it was an odd number, you would add 1 to it in the formula. Okay, The cumulative frequency graph shows the heights in centimeters of 80 young trees. Okay. Question 1. Find the median height of the trees. So the highest value is 80. So 80 divided by 2, or 80 times 0.5 equals 40. So you find that right here. Get the graph. Then you'd get 54, since each box is a value of 2. Right here. Okay. Question 2. Write down the 75th percentile. So basically, you take 80 times 0.75 multiplied by 0.75, which equals 60. So on the graph, you find 60 on the y-axis, go all the way till it hits the graph, and then you shoot down, and then you'd get 58, because it is 1 box away from 60, but each box is worth 2. So it would be 58.
I hope this is most of the test, because
yeah, same, because if remember the quiz we had last class,
the mean and standard deviation.
Yeah, you want to go over that?
For me, I got 100, but it was easy, but it seemed too easy. But I just went along with it.
Yeah, same. Like for me, even though you're supposed to just know it off the top of your head, I made like my own numbers and put them into the calculator to like double check. Yeah, exactly. Because like I don't trust myself, so that's why
exactly. Because like I honestly felt like when she was teaching the material before the quiz, it was nothing like the quiz. So I was learning.
Know, it was like harder.
I felt like there was some sort of like trick or something, but then like once you just add the number to what they have, and then you get the answer.
Like I was like, especially the last question where it was like when you multiply all the numbers by 3 and then subtract 7 from it, that's literally all you had to do. I was like,
this is so easy. I feel like, what are we doing?
What are we doing if you want, we can go through the PowerPoint for those questions, because like is this practice, like do you guys got this down, like the
I
multiply?
got that down.
Okay, then we could go over the PowerPoint real quick if that's cool with y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really confused. I finished my quiz, and then I saw a bunch of people like they were still working, and I was like, why are you still working? Like it was so easy. I thought I did. It was
it's just that we overthink it. We don't think it's supposed to be that easy. That's like me, Charlie, Kate, and Kate, and Anushka. Our quiz, we couldn't submit it.
I was staring at it. I was legit staring at the screen for like 5 minutes, thinking, what did I do wrong?
I was just waiting for it to time out. I was like, oh.
It felt
we got our grades. Yeah. Okay, I will screen share to the PowerPoint. Here, let me pause record. Okay, what about now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let me. Okay.
Are we going to use slide 17?
Yeah, actually we could do that. They have practice problems on it. Okay, that's cool. Okay, we can go through this. So if you want, we could all like do it, and then we could like put our answers in the chat if you want to do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool. I'll do it along. Okay, yeah. Hopefully, honestly, I feel like for like people like me and Charlie, if we overthink something, I feel like once we get the answer, we should move on and do everything else. And if we have time, come back to it and then recheck it. Because like we can't afford to lose time.
Because her test, like her time test, she makes them like what, 40 minutes?
Yeah, and they go by really fast. So if you overthink, like anyone, if you overthink, honestly, solve it. If you get it, move on and come back to it. Like honestly, that's the best thing. Okay. So find the mean, median, and mode.
All right. I got 1A.
Okay, cool. I'm very behind. Okay, wait, let me do that real quick. Okay. Everyone knows how to do the stat calc edit thing, right? We got that down. Okay, cool. Okay. Does everyone have their answers?
Yes.
So okay, cool. So the mean
is 4.4.
Yep. And then the median?
Median is going to be 5.
And then the mode.
Oh, what's mode again? Which sign
Oh,
is
the
it?
mode is, it's not a side. Actually, you look at the data, you look at the numbers and see which one repeats the most. So this, you can't find this from that. Yeah.
Right.
I was
So
looking for the mode in this too. Don't worry. I mean, I was like,
yeah, so
wait, where's the mode? Yeah. So that's 5. Okay, cool.
Let's
Great.
just move on to B.
Add 4 to each value and find the mean, median, and mode of the new data set. Okay. So without doing anything, what do you guys think is gonna happen?
It's that so when you add 5 to it, when you add 4 to it, 9 would be the new mode. And then the mean and median would increase.
Yeah, but I felt like if you added the numbers, wouldn't the mean still stay the same? Here, let me try that real quick. I feel like, yeah, the median would obviously change and the mode would obviously change. Here, let me.
Everything changes except for the what's it called, standard deviation.
Everything changes. Oh yeah, you're right. The standard deviation stays the same. Everything else changes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, you're right.
Like, subtract, but when you divide, that's when standard deviation also. I mean, when you multiply or divide, that's when standard deviation is also multiplied or divided.
Got it. Okay, got it.
All right, are we on 2 now?
Give me a sec. Just want to make sure. So yep, the mean is 8.4. The median is 9, and then the mode is also 9. Okay, great. Describe the effect that adding 4 to each value has on the mean, median, mode. We just went over that. Yep. So honestly, if you come across these questions, honestly, you know how like there's like specific rules for like, oh, if you do this, obviously this will go up by this much. I feel like you should put in your calculator to always double check. Because like mistakes always happen. So okay.
I'm kind of nervous for this test, but at the same time I'm not. Because the thing with this test, she's gonna add the first unit that we learned, so there's more material.
Is she going to? Oh God.
She said it's both what we learned just now and then what we learned from the last test. I'm like, oh, that last test. Oh my God.
If you want, we could go over the last test. If you wanted to do that.
Yeah, we
could do that.
Is it on?
I have. She opened up the test, so like you could review. You could go over what you got wrong.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was just like going through my Schoology stuff, and I was like, oh, my grade's finally in, and then I clicked on it. It was like, oh, open test. I was like, oh, interesting.
Let me check what I missed. Wow, I didn't know.
Okay, if you want, we could move on to the second one. I'll do the second one, and y'all could like say your answers whenever. Okay. Find the standard deviation and variance of the set. Okay, variance is a bit confusing for me. Like variance, I'm kind of iffy on. She was explaining it, yeah. Sorry. Step in, Alan. Yeah, what were you saying?
The variance is just the standard deviation squared.
Yeah, so just
standard deviation squared. Okay.
So if you have the standard deviation, you can square it. If you have the variance, you can just square root it, and you can get the standard deviation.
You know what's like? First of all, I know I asked this question last class, but like I didn't understand what she was saying. Or is it just like something? Okay, so Alan, you said the variance is standard deviation squared?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Great. Okay, so find the standard deviation and variance of the set. Okay, great.
So for standard deviation, you just round to 3 sig figs?
Yeah, 3 sig figs. Also, when your number, let's say it's a 0 point something, make sure there's 3 numbers after the decimal. That's 3 sig figs in that instance. So here, let's say, okay, so this is 3 sig figs and this is 3 sig figs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me say it out loud. So 3 sig figs would be like 2.72, and like another way of 3 sig figs is like 0.889. So 3 numbers, yeah. Okay, let me do this problem real quick. Okay. Okay, does anyone want to say what they got for the standard deviation?
For 2A?
Yeah.
No, what if I got it wrong? I don't know. I don't remember.
Girl, don't worry.
did this
Don't
like a
worry.
week ago. At the time, for 2A, I think this was standard deviation, I got 3.08, and then for variance, I got 9.12.
I got 3.01, but I might have put in a number wrong. So let me check real quick.
I got 3.01 as well.
Okay.
Maybe I put the number wrong then.
Okay.
I was off by
I'm gonna double check real quick to make sure. 7, 9, 3, 0, 1, 8, 6, 4, 10, 5, 5. All right, great. So yeah, for this one, the standard deviation is 3.018 because you round up. Because it's 3.0178, so the 8 makes the 7 go to 8 as well. So let me take that on the chat. 3.018. That would be the standard deviation.
I did my sig figs wrong. I just did regular round.
Wait, did I do my sig figs wrong?
No, you did it right. It's 3 sig
Because
figs. No,
wait, that's 4 sig figs.
Take out the 8. So 3.01.
Yeah. Actually, it's 3.012. My bad. Because the 7 after the 1 makes it go up to 2.
But I thought, doesn't the 0 count as a sig fig because it's supposed to be there?
No, it does. But the 1, you see how it's 3.017?
Yeah.
So the 7 after the 1 would make the 1 go up to 2. So like.
Oh, see, that was my confusion. I read the 1.
So does that make sense? Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah.
So it is supposed to be 3.02.
Yes, that's the answer.
Cool.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. That's a standard deviation. So let me put this in the calculator for, oh, shoot.
So what if for the variance it would be 1.737?
Does anyone know what the variance is? Did anyone get the variance yet?
Last time I squared it, I got 9.12.
So, okay, here's my deal with the variance. Do you take the, like, you know how in your calculator it gives you like the list of all those numbers? Like after like 0x, like the whole thing, do you take all of that in square, or do you take the number that you rounded and squared that? That's my question.
I take the number you rounded.
Yeah, that's what I would assume so.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make a note.
Then from that.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a note of that to ask Ms. Sinha as well, because I want to double check, because I really want to make a good grade on this test.
I need that too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
if anyone has questions, we could like make like a list and we could all ask her.
Okay. But I think
We're
you
all in the
would
same
like
class,
take the
right?
rounded and then square it because
because like you can't really take the full number, because I think there's like numbers after the decimal too, like way after, so I don't think you could see them.
Yeah, plus I think you always are supposed to round it as you go along and not all the way at the end.
Yeah. Use that for the variance or the full standard deviation. Okay, great. So we do that. So that would be 9.12, right?
Yes.
For the variance. Great. Okay, so multiply each member of the data set by 3 and find the new standard deviation and variance. So off the top of our heads, we think that the standard deviation is going to stay the same, right?
no, standard deviation would change in this case.
It changes?
Because you're multiplying.
Oh, got it. Okay, see, this is why we use the calculator. Case in point. God, I'm embarrassing myself on this. Okay. Thank you, Alan, for saving me again. Okay. Multiply by 3. Hopefully I don't do my math wrong. Oh god, I'm sorry, I'm going really slow. My brain's working really slow today.
This is the weekend though. Last week was so slow.
I know, I know.
It was oddly so slow. And then but luckily we didn't have the math test that week.
I know, thankfully.
And surprisingly, I moved back twice.
Yeah, right? I mean, I think she had to anyways because of the college fair.
I actually moved to back though. I needed time. I need time to study.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Here.
Is that for 2B, your answer in the chat?
You bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so. What would it be?
9.05 and 81.9. Yep, that's what I got. Okay.
You guys want to do the one on slide 16 as well, or just move on to like cumulative and then the stuff we did last time?
If you want, we could do slide 16. Because like this
No.
is like the basics. So we could do this if y'all want.
Yeah, it's similar, but I remember one difference was that they switched it when you went to stats, and then one var stats, and then you went to the next page where it was like L1 and L2, and then calculate. They switched.
Okay.
I remember that was.
Which question y'all talking about?
We're talking about like all of slide 16, right?
Yeah, we should probably do that because I remember that one was a little bit weird.
So like, are you talking about how like when Miss Sinha she put the numbers into L1, and then for the next question she just like switched to L2, and then modified those numbers, and then switched to L3? Is that what you're talking about, Yvette?
Yeah, I'm talking about that.
I thought
Yes
for
or
these
no?
questions.
Yes.
Okay. My bad. I didn't hear you.
I thought for these questions you only use one var stats. When did she use two var stats?
She never used 2 var stats. This is 1 var stats as well.
Okay, it's all one. Okay.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to 2 var stats. I don't think we will right now, but yeah. So if you want, we could do all of this right now. Okay.
Yeah,
And then we could do the answers in the chat thing as well. I hope no one's in the waiting room. Okay, yeah, no. Okay.
I don't know. I tried to get Isabel to come, but she wouldn't. So
Yeah, we're
doesn't-
recording it anyway, so it's fine.
yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool. So,
Are we gonna finish the other one?
if you want, we could do 16, and then we could jump right back into the other side.
Yeah, it'll take
If
a
that's
minute.
cool with you. Okay, cool. So, the data set A is 4209355146. So I'm gonna put all of those numbers into my calculator first.
I'll do the second. That's one.
Okay. 42093. Okay. Let me know when y'all are done. Okay. So first it says to calculate the mean and standard deviation of data set A. So
Mean is 3.9.
stop edit. Okay, so for the mean, does anyone want to say the mean?
3.9.
Yep. And then standard deviation.
So I got 2.47 for standard deviation.
Yep.
47.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I'm so happy this class is mostly calculator work.
Yeah, I know.
But I think once we get into the algebra.
Oh God, let's not go there right now.
Exactly.
Algebra was honestly the most. I hated it so much. Okay.
Like I don't even remember what I learned in Clarity's class.
I didn't learn. I mean, I think I learned about the domain and range a little bit more, but honestly, I forgot.
Honestly, I kind of like let myself through that class.
Yeah, I had to retake every single test. So.
Me too. It was like he was a good teacher, but it's just that like.
It's just like the environment we were in. It was like we were all like really like relaxed and like chill. It was just like it never like set into me to like want to learn, so I just never did. That's on me though. So.
That's on me too, yeah, because like he's really chill.
He's a good teacher. It's just like I didn't really.
I wouldn't mind if you were like a bit strict, but
yeah,
knowing Clarity, he would never be strict.
Yeah. Okay. So number 2, data set B takes each of the values in set A and adds 100 to them. Write out the values in data set B. Okay.
Edit. Clear 104.
Can y'all see the chat open on my screen right now, or can you only see the PowerPoint?
I can see the chat and the screen and your
okay,
screen
cool.
share.
Okay, cool. Okay, great.
The PowerPoint because I have it split.
Okay. Okay, so find the mean of data set B. So let's do that real quick. So with questions like questions like these, I don't clear my L1. I just go into L2 and do the same thing. I feel like it's better that way. So like you could see like the numbers that you're changing from. That's just easiest for me.
Alright, I got my answers.
Okay, so oh crap. Okay. And make sure when you're on one more stats and it says list, make sure you change it to L2 if you don't clear out L1 and use that. So don't forget to do that. Okay, so what is the mean?
The mean is 103.9.
Yep. And the standard deviation?
2.47.
Yep. So because Alan caught me earlier, I won't make the same mistake again. Since we only added, the standard deviation will stay the same, but the mean will increase. So, okay.
Is how you know how you have like usually you have L1 and L2, and in
Yeah.
this data set you have L1, so you only put L1. I understand that. But
Okay.
then we get when we put in data set B, so we have L1 and L2. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I should put L1 and L2 and then calculate it. But you're only supposed to
Got it.
L1.
Yeah. If you that's so if you want, you could like make yourself a little like sticky note thing or like write it down. So like when you write down the steps, it just like gets into your, it's like notes. When you take notes, whatever you write down, it gets ingrained into your mind somehow.
Yeah.
History notes.
I just need to remember to do that.
Yeah, because like
why. I don't get
like,
why.
Yeah, it's like all of us, we understand the con. It's just like really like mistakes we make. It's mostly mistakes if we get something wrong. It's like we know what we're doing. It's just like either we like screw up last minute or yeah. Okay, so we basically did 3 and 4. We also talk about 4 and then 5. Using your answers to question 3 and question 4. State what happens to the mean and standard deviation of a data set which has a constant c added to each value. Oh, so we basically talked about that too. When you add any number, the number is going to increase in the mean, but the standard deviation will stay the exact same. Okay. Data set C, were you saying something? Okay. So data set C takes each of the values in set A and multiplies them by 2. Write out the values in data set C. So I'm going to put that in my calculator real quick. Make sure you're taking this from the first set numbers, not set B. Shoot. Okay. Make sure you change to L3. I mean, if you are doing the each column. Okay. Does anyone want to say the mean out loud?
Look, I messed up.
Yeah, you're good. Take your time.
7.8 for the mean.
Okay, yeah, 7.8 for the mean and mean and standard deviation.
4.94.
Exactly. Charlie, you got it?
Yes, 7.8 and 4.94. Yeah.
Yep. Great. Okay, so what happened here was the mean. Okay, yeah.
For that one,
I'm right.
I did this last week, so I just wanted to like make sure for that one.
Yeah.
We have data set A, B, and C, and then when we get to the page that says like that has a calculator on it, we write down L3 for the first one, then leave the second one blank, and then calculate, right?
Yeah, like if you you're talking about like if you did data set A, you put all that into L1, and data set B, you put all that into L2, and then when you're on data set C, you put all that into L3.
Yeah, and then you get to the calculate part.
And then you make sure it only says L3 when you right before you calculate it.
Perfect. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, okay, great. So what we noticed from before is that when you multiply it, like Alan said before, the standard deviation also gets multiplied by that same number, so by 2. So not only does the mean change, but the standard deviation also changes. Okay. So find the mean of data set C. How does it differ from the mean of data set A? We just went over that. Standard deviation, we also went over that. Conceptual, using your answers to question 7. Yeah, okay, we also did that. Did we talk about dividing? Did we? Does anyone remember that?
We've never
In
got
class?
about dividing, I don't think.
Yeah, we never talked about dividing, but it's the same principle as multiplying. So
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think same thing as what Alan said. I think when you subtract, same principle as adding, and then when you divide, same principle as multiplying.
Right?
So, okay, so if anyone wants to like make a note of this, you could just write like on a sticky note or a note card, when you add, only the mean changes, and when you add and subtract, only the mean changes, and when you multiply and divide, both changes. So that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Only the mean changes, because all of like the mean, the median, the mode, like
Oh yeah,
all of-
got it. When we're talking about mean and standard deviation, the mean changes. So you are right. Oh no, okay, maybe yeah, not say only the mean changes, but say the mean changes. So we don't.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, so number 3. The mean age of a group of friends at a school is 17.2. Their median age is 17, and the standard deviation of their ages is 0.5 years. They meet again 4 years later at a school reunion. What are the new mean, median, and standard deviation of their ages? So this is kind of like the quiz. So let's solve this.
Okay. Oh. So you just multiply by 4?
Add.
Yeah.
Add, yeah.
Yeah.
So you just add everything by 4?
I think.
But
Okay.
I'm confident you would add 4 to the median age, and
Yeah. You would also add 4. Yeah, exactly. Alan.
So would you also add it to the standard deviation?
You would not, because it's addition. So the
Okay.
standard deviation stays the same. So yeah.
All right.
So it's 17. The mean of the age group is 17.2. Add 4, that is 21.2. Median age also transfers up. So 17 plus 4 equals 21. And then standard deviation 0.5 stays exactly the same. Okay. Everyone understand? Everyone got it? We good? Okay. Number 4. All of the items in a data set are doubled. State which of the following are also doubled. Mean, median, standard deviation, and variance. Does anyone want to jump in?
Everything, right? Because it's all multiplied.
Alan, double check. I'm not sure. I think,
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the variance.
you would multiply the variance by 4.
By 4, okay, because it's squared.
But
Wait.
either way, it still changes, right?
Either way, it's still.
It just changes
Oh
overall.
yeah, because you square it when the standard deviation is doubled by 4, so it obviously changes. Okay, let me just substitute a number and see that real quick. 4.
So multiply. Oh well.
Oh, wait, no, I think the variance is quadrupled, right?
Okay, so wait.
Am I
we have
wrong?
deviation, and then you're supposed to square it. But since you're doubling the standard deviation, that's
It's quadrupling. Okay, so what I did, like, let's say the standard deviation of a data set was 2, right? So you would square that, and that would be 4, right? So the variance would be 4. So when I took, like the standard deviation is 2, right? When I doubled that, which is 4, and then I squared that, I got 16. So the variance would be quadrupled, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I'm gonna type that in the chat.
So like whatever you're multiplying, you would square that number and then multiply it with the variance. That'd be your answer.
I wish someone could write this all out. I need to hang on. I'm gonna draw this out on my paper so I can.
No,
photograph.
yeah. I'm putting like little notes in the chat, so if you want, you could take that.
Yeah, I don't. I unless you have the chat open, like they can't see it in the recording. I don't think.
Okay, I think I have it open right now, but I'm not sure. Quadrupled. Oh god.
You need a little whiteboard.
Yeah.
That would be really convenient, actually, for these review sessions.
I know. I'll figure that one out before we have our next review session, like the one that Miss Kelly does, or like whatever Andrew did for his physics review session.
Zoom
try and
has a
ask.
whiteboard.
They
Like,
do. It does?
Yeah, if
Oh, the
you
notes, the little. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
But when she highlighted on the PowerPoint, if you go look back on her notes, it's just completely like highlighted out. Like you can't see it. It's like she marked out all the answers.
God damn it. I hope that helps.
So for problem number 4, we have standard deviation, which is 0.5, and then you double it, and then after doubling it, you square it again, so it's like quadrupling it.
Yeah. Here, let me try that with a number to just make sure because I'm really paranoid. So 3 squared is 9, and then you take the double of 3, which is 6, and then 6 squared is 36. So 9 times 4 is 36. If you want, I could do like a little example right here. 2. Oh God. I don't know how teachers do this. Oh my goodness. Like especially, I think Miss Kelly has an iPad, but I think Miss Kelly does on her computer. I don't know how she does it. Okay, so that's 4.
I don't have patience with that.
Yeah, I hate this. Okay, this is 16. Oh God. So that, wow. Picasso could never. Okay. Does that help you, Vet? Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If the variance of a data set is X, stop me if you want to stay back. Okay. If the variance of a data set is X and all the numbers in a data set are multiplied by 9, state the new variance. Okay. So to approach that, variance of a data set is X. State the new variance. Okay then. Whoa. Yep, Alan, you did it. Okay, so what I did is I said that the standard deviation so this is an example. I said that the standard deviation would be like what? 2, right? So 2 squared equals 4. And then it says multiply by 9, so it would be 18 squared, which is 324. Oh God, which is 324. And then 324 divided by, yikes. 324 divided by 4 equals 81. Okay, so honestly, your best bet during like any of these kinds of questions are substituting numbers. Honestly, that will help you the most. So I honestly think, yeah. Okay, so do you want me to stay for a bit on this slide? Or are we good?
We're good. We're good.
Okay, cool. Everything will be on the recording if you guys want to go back and refer.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that.
Okay, great. Okay. Sure. Okay. Oh, actually, we went through all the questions. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, if anyone has any questions.
Not really.
So
I just really like how like.
Do you want to like end it here? What else do you want to do? Do you want to do other stuff?
Up to y'all. Charlie, what were you saying? Real quick.
I just actually how like most of it you could just get from the calculator because I feel like
for sure.
we definitely bomb this if it was all handwork because I just know for a fact I couldn't do this if it were handwork because if y'all look up if you like scroll up there's an equation for standard deviation and it looks so long to do.
Yeah, I know. Like this one right here.
That one right there. I don't even know what half that means. It looks so confusing.
Like I remember doing something like this on the bio test. I was like on the bio homeworks. I was like, What is happening?
Why are y'all doing
Oh my god,
bio?
yeah.
Yeah, no, we did like
Oh,
one,
that
like our
sucks.
first homework was in standard deviation. It was really weird, but it was a 300, honestly, if you did it.
That doesn't make sense. Why would you do math in bio?
I honestly have no clue. I'm pretty sure
AP bio
like
is
it plays
not
hand in
meant to be
hand with like,
biology.
yeah, I think it goes like hand in hand with like the data sets, like when you like conduct science experiments and stuff. But I think it was just like an intro thing. I'm just gonna go through the slides real quick. Like this whole thing, like the one with the +1, like Alan mentioned that earlier in the chat. I was a little thrown off because like if you get something like, oh god, is my connection cutting out? Okay, I think it's okay now. It's like if I hope we get graphs that are clear to read, not something like super tiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll make things easier.
Yeah, cause like if we get like if the top value is something like 129, I'll just be like, why?
That's gonna
But like,
mess
see,
up so
exactly.
bad.
No, okay. No, actually, when the top value is an odd number, you actually don't need to use this formula. You could just do that number multiplied by 0.5. That's all you have to do. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like you don't have to divide it. You don't necessarily have to even do this at all. You could just like same with the the quartile 3. Like to get that number, all you need to do is the highest value times 0.75. So if you just do that, then you'll be fine. Honestly, all this formula does is just like mess me up a bit. Okay, like all of this right here, none of this is actually necessary.
Just looking at it, just really get me.
Yeah. You bet what we're saying?
Like for Q1, you just multiply the highest value by 0.20.
Yep, exactly.
As you said, for Q1, you multiply the highest value and then median 0.5, and then Q3 0.75.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so something I got wrong on quiz 1 was when we had to find like the first point of like they gave us a table. They're like, oh, find the first point of the first row, and I did it wrong because I took like you see like in the first row you see how it says, okay, actually let's do the second row. You see on the second row it says 4 and then 5, like the two numbers. So basically what I did like to get the data point, I did 4 plus 5 divided by 2, which is actually wrong. You don't use that. You have to take the upper boundary, which is 5. So when you go to plot the point, you have to take the cumulative frequency, which is 16, which you would plot on the y-axis. And then for the time, you would take 5. You wouldn't take 4 plus 5 divided by 2. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How would you find the upper boundary again?
The upper boundary is basically just the number right here, the second number.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, here, let me see if I can open my cognitive quiz real quick and we could go over it. Here, let me stop share real quick.
So you use the upper boundary to be able to tell
yeah, if you're trying to plot
what
the
it
point
is on the graph.
Yeah, if you're like if they ask you to plot the point. Here, let me pause the recording real quick. Okay, so question 3. I hope y'all can see that. Okay, so you know how it asks for what are the coordinates of the second point he plots? So you know how the frequency is on the, one sec. So okay, so you know how the cumulative frequency is on the y-axis? So you would take, so number you get from adding 3 and 8 would be 11. So that would be in the x-axis. No, my bad, that would be in the y-axis. So when you're trying to find the x-axis, you have to take the upper boundary, which is this number right here. So what I did was I did 10 plus 20, divided that by 2, and I got 15, which is something from the first unit test we took, which is, I think that's what you do when you do histograms. So that was my mistake.
I see that.
Okay, yeah. So I got 1511, and the answer was 2011. So
I think mistake. I got that one wrong too.
Yeah, I was like so mad. I was like, I swear I thought I got 100, but you know.
This quiz brought down my grades so much.
Yeah, same.
Out of nowhere.
But if you do the extra assignment, you will get the 25 points back. So y'all should do that.
I'm gonna do that so I could get 75.
Do you want to go through the other questions real quick on the quiz and then end it? if you want.
Yeah, let's do this quiz.
Okay, cool. So height of
we
16
supposed to-
members.
Hey
Yep.
guys, I have to go. Okay.
Okay, bye, Alan.
Bye, Mira.
Alan.
Bye, guys.
Okay, so Yvette, were you saying something? I didn't quite
I was
hear
gonna
you.
say like, oh, we should go to what's called the math practice, so the math AI test practice too. But isn't that for homework?
Yeah, that was
No.
for homework. I don't think that was for homework, but it's similar to the
She didn't
practice we
assign
went over
homework.
first. Yeah, the only homework is the extra
assigned
credit in cognitive.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah, she only recommended for us to do 6 and 8.
Yeah, oh
So
yeah,
that's-
6 and 8. I
was
didn't
just
quite do that.
recommendation.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
wanna
If you
do
want,
6
I
and 8?
could. If you want, you could do it and you could send it to me and we could go over our answers because I think this review session went a lot over.
Yeah.
So we could do this question real quick and then we'll
How
end
long?
it. I think we've been here for like, I think I
An
started
hour.
like, yeah, at least. Okay, so
Yeah, let's just go over this.
yeah,
this one
we'll
question.
do this and then we'll end it. Okay, but like if any
Sure.
of you want to go over your answers with me, you can text me and then we could do that. So like for the homework and like the review guides, because I finished them. Almost. Okay.
Hit you up before.
Say again? Okay.
I said cool. I'll hit you up before.
Okay, great. Okay, the height of 16 members of a basketball team was measured and gathered in the table below. Find the value of B. So to do that, okay, frequency 1. Okay, so you see how the cumulative frequency right here is 15?
Mhm.
So you know how it was 11 right here? So
So
you would take
4.
15 minus 11, which is 4. And then let's say you want to do the same thing right here. Like, let's say you want to find A, it would be 1 plus 2 equals A. So that's pretty simple. Sure.
I got that one for sure.
I think this one's all right. Let me know if you want me to go over this one.
Hey, go. I think
got
I
that
don't
one too.
know if I got that one wrong or not. I didn't check, but let's go over it real quick.
Okay, yeah, we could do
I
that.
put A because I had never seen any of the other ones, so I was just like, I just breezed through. I was like, oh, A.
Got it, yeah. So for this one, okay. Okay, yeah, so since I didn't know the upper boundary thing, I took a educated guess and I got it right somehow. So exactly what we were going over before. So for this one, okay, let's look at this one. So let's look at the second row. So you see how this is the upper boundary number 169? So that would be your x, right? So 169 would be your x, and then your cumulative frequency would be your y. So it would be 169.13. So it would be basically 70, right? So when you go up here, you see how it's at 15. Here, let me use
That would
my
be
little. Let me annotate because I feel like that would be way easier. Oh wow, this is. Oh, I like this. Okay. Okay, so let's take it from 70, and then right here. So that would be wrong because you see how it's at 15?
Yeah.
So it should be around 13. So that is.
I totally should have looked at it. I can't believe I did it.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I totally blanked out too. Okay. Shoot. Here, let me go up real quick because I couldn't see the rest. Okay. Annotate. Draw lines. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. So 160. So that was crap. Okay. 170. And then to 115, right? Okay, and then you see the next row, which is 189. So you would round that up to 190. So that'd be right here. And then, we said the cumulative frequency would be, okay, so you see how in this row, it says 14, you would add 13 and 14, which is 27.
Yeah.
So this goes below 25. So that would also be another indicator where it's wrong.
Okay.
So if you want, we could also, we could also go and see how the other ones are eliminated. So 170, right? You go all the way up to 170 right here. And then when you go right here, it goes over 20, which is also wrong because it's supposed to be 170.13.
Yes.
And then for C here, it's supposed to be 190.27. Okay, so this is wrong because it's supposed to be 190.27. But when you go all the way up here, you go to 25. So 27 would be up here, which it's not. So that would be also a way you would get it wrong. But for B, everything lines up perfectly right. So it's 170.13 and 190.27. So when you go right here, you see where it says 170, that looks about in the 13 range right here. And then when you look at 190, that looks right about in the 27 range right here.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let me see what question 4 was. I think that was simple, but let me just look at it. Yeah, does anyone want me to go over this one?
No, I got that one.
Okay, cool. You bet you? Be good?
Sure, I'm down. So
Okay.
let's go over it.
Okay, sure, we can do that. Yeah, okay. So 28 classmates, that would be the cumulative frequency. How long they spent in minutes playing computer games the previous evening. So best estimate of the interquartile range. So I would take 28 times 0.75, 21, and then 21. That's not it. That's not all you do. 21. Here, let me annotate it. Okay. C21 right here. That would be right there, and then you'd go down. That would be like 53, and then you would take 28 times 0.25, which is 7. So 2, 4, 6, 7. And then that's like what? 30, 34?
Yeah.
30, yeah, 34. Even then, if you get 35, like let's say for like accident, it's still in the range, so you should be fine.
Right.
So 50, 51, 53, so what, 53 minus 34, you get 19. Or if you get another number in that range, that's also fine. Here, let me delete the annotations real quick. Ugh, I didn't delete it, whatever. So I got 19 minutes. So, yep, basically shows the same thing we did right here if you want. It lines up perfectly too. So yeah, that would exactly, right here. So see, let's say you got even 17, or let's say you got like 22, it would still be the closest to 19. So if Miss Sinha gives us multiple choice, which I'm pretty sure she won't, she can't deduct points if it's in the same range, you know, because she even said it herself that you can't have a perfect number.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's it.
That will definitely make it like free response, and then you just show your work, and then
yeah, honestly, if you can back it up, you're perfectly fine. Okay, so if to people who watch this video, and y'all, if you go over your test 1 and you have any questions about it, feel free to ask me, because I went over my test and I understand why I got each question wrong. So you could ask me about that and I will help you through that.
All right, I'll look over it. I'll look over it and see what I could find.
Yeah, I'm free anytime. So text me on Slack or through my number, because I don't really check social media. So okay, so I think we're done.
Good luck studying, guys who are watching.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.